Greetings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I think now I should officialize it actually as this whole greetings as my own official signature greeting for my channel, and maybe I should get it trademarked so that other people don't steal it away from me and use it on their videos. And anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm back again with yet another video. So this will be my third video of the channel. Funny enough, I'm already seeing a lot of videos piled up on this channel, even though now this will only be the third video. I guess that's what vision does, causes you to see things that other people cannot see. In any way, it has to be my baby. This is my baby. I have to see what others are not seeing. So that's that, and thank you so much for returning. Well, that's if you are returning. We usually say if you're a returning subscriber, if you've watched any or both of the videos that I've uploaded before, my first and second video, then you're returning again. But if you're new, welcome to you, and thank you for having decided to check this video out. I hope it will add value to you by the time you are done watching it, but just stick around for that. Because obviously you cannot get any value on the introduction, so you need to stick around until the end of the video. So hey, I'll get on with it. But guys, it's so cold. You can even see from the dress code that I have, it's very cold here in Joburg, especially now. What's the date today? I think it's the 8th of July 2024. Apparently there's a series of cold fronts that have hit South Africa, so it's very cold. It's really cold. But anyway, we need to deliver. Whether it's cold, whether it's not cold, whatever the circumstances, we need to deliver to keep things moving. So on today's topic, I will be talking about a topic which I've already shared on my WhatsApp for those that I have on WhatsApp, called a generation that shies away from the truth. A generation that shies away from the truth. So the way in which I'm going to go about it, first and foremost, I'm going to do a quick introduction of the topic, because well, I believe that if you didn't really grasp the whole meaning of what the topic is or what it's intended at, then the chances that you will follow with the rest of what's to come after that are not so, I don't want to say they are slim. They are slim for some, but they are not 100%. So the topic or the title of the video, as I've said, is called The Generation That Shies Away from the Truth. So first and foremost, we know a generation is a group of people that are existing at the same time. Us in our, from the 90s, well, from the 90s, some call them, there's the Mama 2000 and so on and so forth. We form one generation because we're existing at the same time. Well, shying away is simply to avoid confronting something or going head on with something because of fear or whatever the case might be. But the whole essence in that is that you avoid it for one reason or the other. Then lastly, truth, we all know truth. But I'm still gonna go and explain it. Truth is the reality that we see. It's facts as we see them, reality. So if now the color of my phone stand is black, that's truth, unless it's perceived in another way, which perception in itself is a different thing, which maybe it will be a topic for another day. But so yeah, that's the topic or the title. Okay, the title of the video is A Generation That Shies Away from the Truth. But the topic of the message, so it's two different things. The topic of the message is same thing, but they're just classified differently based on what you're allocating them on. A generation that shies away from the truth. So why a generation that shies away from the truth, and how exactly did I come up with this topic? So it's quite interesting how I came up with this topic. I actually have so many topics that I've planned for this channel that I want to talk about, but for some reason I felt a strong emotional connection. Is it a connection even? I felt so strongly about this topic with regards to truth at this particular point in time of my life where I am. I don't know, maybe because of the things that I've been going through. as I've said on the banner of the channel, that most of these things will be, well, not most, some of them will be based on experiences, so on and so forth. And funny enough, the banner of the channel says about truths about life, and now I'm talking about a generation that shies away from the truth. I think it fits perfectly, for given that it's my third video. And by the way, my first and second video were more of introductory videos, but this one will be going into the depth of the matter. We have gotten the starters out of the way now. Now we'll be looking at the meat. I'll be delivering meat now. So, a generation that shies away from the truth. Why this topic? As I've said, I have so many topics that I have planned, so many of them, so many ideas. But because of how strongly I felt at this point in my life, I decided to go for this one as my third topic. So, what exactly is this generation that shies away from the truth? Well, it is the generation that we are particularly in now, me and you. The society that we are in at the moment is a society that shies away from the truth. Obviously, I will still need to expand on that. So, the way in which I've analyzed everything is that we go from childhood, and then you transition into teenagehood, and then you transition to young adulthood, and then adulthood, and then you're a senior citizen, and so on and so forth. So, I will take it from childhood. So the way that we are brought up, mostly, especially us in our black communities, with our black parents, unfortunately, is that we are programmed not to confront certain things that happen to us, or that we see other people doing, maybe our parents or be another person, so that we do not cause any stir, or that we do not cause any uncomfortable situation. So to keep the peace, we resort, or we've been programmed that no, if you see something which is going to possibly cause a fight, then it's better you keep quiet. If you see someone doing something which is wrong or which is out of line, then if you know that that particular thing is going to cause you guys fight, if confronting it or confronting them is going to cause you fight, then it's better to keep quiet. So that's how we've been programmed. And as much as and the program came in such a way that we did not even notice it ourselves. That's something that I've observed as I was looking into this whole topic of a generation that shies away from the truth. Because from a young age, you find that you are told not to do certain things. You're told to do certain things. You're told not to do certain things, and then you're told to do certain things without being given the real reason behind it. Obviously, as a child, your parents shouldn't always give you the reasons as to why they're telling you to do 1, 2, 3, because in any way you won't comprehend it, you won't understand it because of the state that you are in at that particular time, you being a child. But there's some things which are a bit obvious that are being conducted and which should need reasoning behind them. But even in that case, you are not given any. You're just expected to go with the flow. And then over time, you adopt that mentality, and then one way or the other, without you even realizing it, it gets stored. It forms a part of your subconscious mind. Then as you transition from childhood to teenagehood, now you have grown into this being of fearing confrontations. And as I've said, I've noticed this. I'm a victim, by the way. I'm a victim, and hence why now I'm enlightened to talk about these things, because I'm planning to do things differently. And now you transition into your teenagehood, and as I've said, I was still trying to get to that. I've just lost my trail of thoughts for a second there. It happens mostly in our black communities because of the way that we are raised. You find parents who don't want to admit that they are wrong, or they don't want to be confronted when they've done something wrong, or a situation where we rather opt to keep quiet about a matter which we see in front of us, just to keep the peace, as I've said. And then over time, it gets stored in your subconscious mind, and then you grow with it. You grow with it, and before you know it, you find yourself as this person who's afraid of confrontation. And hence, everything which has to do with making you and other people feel a bit of discomfort, you rather opt to shy away from it. And as I've said, shying away from it means that you avoid it for lack of fear of what might come out from it. And hence you continue like that, and before you know it. And the funny thing is that You might not even notice it until you are intentional, or until maybe someone tells you about it. Like I think it was in my case, and I think it is for them. We just continue with our lives thinking that's how it's meant to be lived. Eh? And a collection of us, obviously, it won't happen in one background. Like I said, it's a generation issue, or society issue. It won't happen in one background. And then a collective of us come together to form a society. And then before you know it, we form this generation that shies away from the truth, both within ourselves and then with others. And then within ourselves, it all boils down to an instance where you know the truth subconsciously in your mind, one way or the other, that okay, this is what I need to do to attain 1, 2, 3, or to be able to get to the other side. But because of the whole programming that you've picked up from a young age, growing up and transitioning into your childhood, now you start shying away from that truth. You neglect to do the basics of truth, because that's how you've known things your whole life. And in such a situation, success, you find that because the basics principle will always remain the basic principles, and in order for you to get to the other side, you will need to apply a certain principle which is required to produce the results of that which you are going through. For example, it boils down to the point where if you know that because of the whole programming, if you know that maybe you want to achieve a certain fitness goal, you know that you need to keep to a certain workout schedule and maintain a certain diet for you to attain that. But because you are used to getting by without doing what is required, and life has become a normal to you from that, and then before you know it, you tend to convince yourself that there's other ways that I can actually attain this thing, and hence now you find that people will be buying this supplement and that supplement. Just to give an example, by the way, no offense to anyone, yeah, but because supplements, that's why even the name says supplements. It's not meant to substitute. It's meant to help as a booster to the work that is already being conducted by the workout. And hence, at the end of the day, you find that you are not even able to do the barest of minimum. In instances where you need to study, you convince yourself that no, I can get by doing other things. In instances where you need to be patient, you convince yourself that I don't need to be patient, because previously that's how you have known things to be. And then now there's also an instance of shying away from the truth with friends. You know, in times where you need to confront friends about certain things, the both of you subconsciously, you expect a certain atmosphere to to go on between the two of you about a particular matter. I think I'll give this example. I think examples actually enhance the explaining, because they help to clarify quickly and better. So I'm not out to get people who have owed me money in the past, but I'm just using this as an example. You find that you borrow someone money, or someone borrows money from you, and then you lend it to them. Then they tell you that no, I'm gonna bring it back on Friday. Now when it's time for them to bring it back, they keep quiet, and then the both of you are just expected to keep quiet about everything. And once you deviate from that normal that is expected between the two of you, and which is now will be the confrontation that you undertake to go towards them and say, hey, my guy, Papa, you said you're going to bring my money on Friday. And now, because now you are acting out of the normal, which is now something which is foreign, and all hell breaks out now. You know, there's another person being angry at another person, that how can he demand his money back, you know, and all of that. It becomes that whole thing that you are just expected to keep quiet, even though you can see the truth is in front of you, that no, in order for you to get your money back, since Friday has passed, I need to tell this person to bring my money back. But because you have adopted the whole notion of shying away from the truth and going another way, you are just expected to keep quiet, and then for him to go as long as he possibly can until now he feels that he's ready, whether it's after 2 years or 3 years, whatever the case might be, and he brings back the money to you. And then you're also expected to just keep quiet when the money comes back, and you just keep quiet. You're like, oh, thank you. Then you don't confront the whole thing, that why did it take you so long? When you say that when initially you had said that you're just gonna bring it after a day or 2 or 3 days or whatever the case might be. And when I speak about this, I'm reminded of an example. I won't mention how me and the person are related, by the way, so that it's not easy for them to quickly pick it up that I'm talking about them, because they'll think that now I'm out to get them in a public platform. But there's one person who once borrowed something from me. It was an electrical device. Then I gave it to them. They took it, they used it. When it was time for them to bring it back, they brought it in a not so good condition than the one that I gave it out to them in. And it was in a very bad condition, like it was messed up. And it didn't say anything. I was just expected to keep quiet about it, And the moment now you act out of the normal, which is now you start questioning, why now is this thing coming back like this? And now they start taking offense, because that's not the reality of what we know as a generation. I'm sure with these examples that I've given now, people will start catching up as to what exactly do I mean by a generation that shies away from the truth. So that's the explanation of it. And the reason why I came up with this topic is because I've identified dangers in it. One of the dangers is that you cannot be your best self. You cannot be your best self, and you cannot establish best relationships. Because one of the things that this whole model or this whole programming does in your head is that there's a story in the Bible, I think in the book of Joshua, studying at Joshua after Moses died, and then Joshua had to take over in terms of leading the children of Israel to the land of Canaan, the land of flowing with milk and honey. God kept on saying to Moses that be strong and courageous. Then he came back again to me and said, be strong and very courageous to lead these people onto the land that I'm showing you. And in order for you to attain strength and courage, you will need to confront situations. You will need to confront things in order for you to get the truth. Well, the strength part is a bit easier, because strength is attained from exercising a particular muscle of you, from experiences, going back to the gym. The more you exercise it, and then you attain strength. But with courage on the other hand is something else. With courage, you need to continuously confront something, and hence why you need to exercise that courage. But if you are still stuck in a mentality of shying away from the truth, it means it becomes so difficult for you to confront certain things that you are seeing passing by you. And sometimes it might even be an instance where you will need to confront your way into success. It means that if there was a particular instance where you're supposed to attain success, because of your whole notion of being programmed to shying away from the truth, you let it go because you're afraid to exercise your courage. And hence, that's what God actually meant when he said to Joshua that be strong and very courageous. And hence he didn't say be strong or be courageous. He said be strong and courageous. You need both. As much as you might have one, you need the other for you to be your best self. So one of the dangers that we see in this is that it becomes so hard for you to even establish truth within yourself, because you can't acknowledge your weak points and you cannot acknowledge your strong points, because you are used to faking things based on the fact that that's how you have been your whole life. For example, you find that maybe one of your weak points is, as it is mine, by the way, I'm trying to work on it by all means, time management. But because you don't want to confront the truth, you don't want to go head on with the truth, and then you tend to convince yourself that no, I'm good at time management. Even though you can see clearly that you're struggling, you might need to put in the work to improve on that, or get someone who can assist you on that. But because you don't want to acknowledge any of these things, it's even hard for you to have a starting point in terms of what you need to do to better yourself, or what you need to do in order for other people to help you so that you can better yourself. So that's one of the dangers. And in that instance, like I said, success becomes very difficult for you to attain. Maybe success in the form of you getting better in terms of personal qualities, And also it extends to relationships, because if someone comes, if you are to have a friend, and then your friend says that no, I I like this person who has this particular trait, or I dislike this person who has this particular trait, because you don't want to be honest with yourself, because you are used to not being honest with yourself, and then you tend to lie to yourself, and then you lie to them and say, no, me, I'm good at that. And when now it's time to act things out, you find that you cannot deliver, and before you know it, relationships are destroyed based on that. Not only on a personal level or interpersonal relationship, it also extends to the workplace and a whole lot of things. In the workplace, if you cannot be honest with yourself, and you cannot be honest enough and courageous enough to confront others, then it still boils back to the same thing that I've just explained. Because you will find it very difficult to confront matters for what they are. And then you'll always expect other people to understand your mentality of shying away from the truth. And then if you meet someone who's an exception to that whole notion, then they start confronting you for how and what things are, which is how things are supposed to be done. Then now you start growing bitter towards them. How does this guy confront? Everyone is quiet about it. Yes, I know I made a mistake, but we all know that you don't do that. How can this guy confront me about that thing? What is this? What needs to be done in order for you to get better? You need to be confronted. You need to be confronted in order for you to get better. So what if now we are in the case, because I think I've explained from a personal level and with interpersonal relationships and a workplace. What if now you find yourself in a place that there's an organization rather. There's an organization rather that has already been built and is huge, and it has been already been established on this whole notion of shying away from the truth, and it's thriving, it's excelling on that. Then you are now enlightened to this new world of wanting to be strong and courageous, of wanting to doing the opposite rather, wanting to shy away from not confronting the truth. So what if in that instance, what do you do then? Because the outcome will either be one of two things. It's either you collapse everything of you, which you might find that other people's lives even depend on it, income or whatever the case might be, or because of how huge the organization might be, then it will challenge you back and destroy you instead. Then how do you deal with that? Does it mean that now you should continue to live a life of shying away from the truth, a life of not confronting things for what they are? Well, definitely not, because like I said, one way or the other, there's no exception to that. If you are to become your best self, if you are to set yourself out for success, and make use of every opportunity that comes your way, then you definitely need to confront things. You definitely need to possess that strength and courage that I spoke about. Then in that instance, if that particular thing does not affect you directly, then you walk away. You walk away from it, you distance yourself. Because if you try to confront something which has already been built, it has been there for the longest time, it will only serve to corrupt it, like I said, and bring it to the ground and shatter it, and destroying a lot of things which are at stake and involved, or now it will come back for you. So you walk away, you distance yourself from it, and you look for something which meets this new founded reality that you have come into, meaning that you leave that organization and you leave one which is healthy and allows you to exercise confrontation with ease, to exercise courage, one which when you eventually do confront things for what they are, you won't be criticized or people won't be bitter, but instead they will accept what it is that you're telling them, because they know that it only serves to make the both of you better. So that's one of the things that you can do in how to deal with that. But all in all and above all, my message today is that let us be a generation that does things differently. As much as we are caught up in the times where that's a normal thing to do, but if you are going to rise above what you have been currently in for the longest time, obviously they say that there's a saying that goes like insanity is doing the same things over and over again but expecting different results. Then there's another one that goes like there's no growth in comfort zones. If you want to grow, it means you need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. So it's one of those practices that we need to carry out as a generation, because you might find that some of the things, some of the doors that are waiting to open for you, they are only waiting on that one thing, for you to possess the ability to confront or be courageous about things in order for you to get to the other side. Because even then, one of the things maybe I might have forgotten to mention is that even if you are able to rise to the top with this whole notion of shying away from the truth, when now you eventually meet someone at the top who now challenges you on truth, then they confront you on that. Someone who is not accustomed to the ways of this generation, and now you guys will go head on, and you find that they have the potential to destroy everything that you have built, based on the fact that everything that you have built was on you shying away from the truth. And now they can destroy all of that at an instant, because now they stand on something which is firm, and they have a firm foundation, and they are relying on the truth. So with that being said, yes, our background, like I said, mostly our African background, black community, black background has done injustice in terms of that. Because one of the things that I've noticed as well is that with white people, you find that even a child who's very young, they are able to confront things for what they are, and you're like, hey, when? And then sometimes we tend to take it as though the child is being disrespectful to their elder, whereas that's how they are raised. They are raised to face things as they are head on, not to look at things, and because now it's going to become a bit uncomfortable for whatever environment that we might be in, and then now we just need to avoid it. And yes, unfortunately our black background or black community has done us injustice when it comes to that. But hey, there's still a chance for things to be done differently, and that's obviously if you want to go far in life. Obviously there's a lot of people that you'll need to meet. Some of these people, they will come to confront the things that you have done, like why did you do the things that you did. Then now you'll feel that they are being bitter towards you simply because they're stating things for what they are. So you need to get yourself to a place where you get used to that thing. Okay, this is the reality of life. Truth is truth. If this thing is black, I must call it black. I must not call it white because it's gonna offend another people. Obviously, doing it in a kind manner, addressing it in a kind manner. But that's also a topic for another day. Not to say that now because truth, you wanna outline or highlight a particular truth, now you need to be arrogant. No, that's not what I mean. You can still state out your truth and state out your facts, but at the same time remaining polite and kind, so that, because at the end of the day, is for you to get your point across more than anything else. So with that being said, I think this is my next challenge to everyone who has tuned in and who has watched this video until this point. And thank you so much for watching until this point in time. I will conclude this video here. I still have a lot of things to say, but I think the whole essence, or the most important things that I wanted to say, I've laid them out, because I don't want to make my video so long, at least for now. So I'll end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. You can go ahead. I think today I was giving you the meat. First video and second video was just giving you starters, bread, tea here and there, introduction part 2. But now we're looking at something else, to show that at least we are going somewhere. So I'll leave it here for now. You can still go ahead and assess. Actually, I think if you have come to this point and then this is for you, then you can go ahead and subscribe and like. And by the way, guys, please do tell me if you like this thing, so I can know, because in my mind I might tell myself that people like these things whereas it's the opposite, and so I can know what to focus on and all of that. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next upload. Thank you and bye.